September the 24th, 2021. Guys, I just want to start this out by saying what incredible weather we're having here in the Southeast. 70s in the daytime, 50s at night. You just can't beat it. The only thing that concerns me, and I mentioned it in a video one or two back, that it could be a very long and cold winter because this is a little early for us to feel these temperatures. Normally here, you can just about decide the last day you're going to use any kind of air conditioner is around November 1st, end of October, 1st of November. Right in there, that's kind of been one of the things that I've seen happen. Now, I'm not saying we may not warm back up a little bit going into October, but it's a little early, and it could be foreboding as far as how cold it gets this winter. Everyone pay attention to it, and if you haven't seen, go back and look at that video. But what you're looking at now is the tropical Atlantic satellite imaging, and we have now a hurricane, Sam, Category 1. It is expected to become a Category 3. You can see it right here in the right center section. And there's another storm coming off of Africa that's predicted to also strengthen and follow behind Sam. Now notice it's moving just a little north and northwest, and it may even miss the Caribbean altogether. We'll look at a couple of models, and the only thing that's going to really steer it and much at all this time of the year is the high pressure in the Atlantic. So depending on where that is when this thing gets closer to the U.S. shore is how this storm will be steered. Right now the models are indicating, even using the high pressure models, that it could very well be another Bermuda storm in that area. Now, we're still a few days out, but again, we've got a Category 1 hurricane predicted to become a Cat 3. Now, this advisory came out about 28 minutes ago, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and there's some updates here, and it's saying that we're going to see a Category 4 by Sunday at 8 a.m., 130 mile per hour storm. But as you notice, the storm is tracking more now to the northwest, and it becomes a 3 sometimes during Tuesday a.m. to Wednesday a.m. So what that's telling us, it's getting into cooler waters. The further away you get from the equator, the cooler the waters are in the Atlantic Ocean. But still, that's as far as this tracking model takes the storm. Now we're going to look at the CMC and the NavGem models, computer models, and we'll see how they're both reacting slightly different depending on the high pressure system in the Atlantic. First, NavGem, or the Navy model, and you can see Hurricane Sam here finding this crease. See this crack in the yellow right there? That's where the high pressure system is breaking. The orange and red areas are the higher pressure in those systems, but notice that gap right there. And that's what the Navy model is expecting this storm to do. If it does that, if this high pressure stays this way, then it will move to the east of Bermuda. Bermuda's right there, that little dot. The further away from the U.S. and St. John's and up in that area, the better it is. And you notice there's a second storm following it off the coast of Africa. Check that out. Right there, it starts to make that turn. That turn is going to be determined. Now, we're still a few days out from this point of the turn on how it reacts with the pressure system, what happens to the pressure system itself. Now, the Canadian model is reading a slightly different high pressure system. Notice that it skirts the very top of the Windward Islands here, and then right there's Bermuda, skirts the very edge of Bermuda. So it's a further west tracking model than the Navy model. But again, it's playing. Notice here we come, and the high pressure is in the orange here. It's noticing and feeling this gap. But the gap isn't as quite as open here as it is in the Navy model. But it still looks like it's going to miss the East Coast. That would take something pretty drastic right now in the high pressure over the Atlantic. A drastic change to change much of this modeling. But because we're dealing with a very powerful hurricane, and we have friends in the islands, what I call the gates to the Caribbean, and in Bermuda. So, and of course up into the northeastern section of the North American continent. But guys, I just wanted to update it. People have asked me about the storm strengthening. But it looks like with the last 4 or 5 storms you had Rose, you had what was it, Peter, and a couple others. They're making this north turn into the Atlantic, and that's a good thing. We don't need any more this year. And again, guys, just a quick update on what we are dealing with. Remember, this tropical season ends at the end of November, so you have to kind of keep an eye on it. But so far, so good, except maybe some problems in the top of the Caribbean islands and possibly Bermuda right now. But if things change, I'll update it, guys. It's a heads up. Be safe.